All right, ladies. Oh shit! Here we go. I mixed it up. I mixed it up. I hit the wrong button. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Minor technical difficulty going on right at the front, but I don't think anyone saw and or heard that because I don't think that we actually went live. But hey, we are here. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a different crew tonight. This might seem unfamiliar to some of you new folk out there, but the veterans, the veterans, they sure know what the fuck is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel tonight on the Tundra Nation. Excuse me, let me do that a little bit more justice. We'll do some proximity effect here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 16 of 17. 16, 17? I think we're on 17.
You're
17.
Stop counting in numbers.
17 of the Tundra Nation, where we have the wonderful, the beautiful, the ever-loved Angel of Verdun and her sidekick Tufu.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
We were close.
Toofy boy. Toofy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, since you're filling in for Hypo tonight because he is out doing family stuff, it sounds like. Party on, Garth. You're supposed to say party on, Wayne.
Oh man, Tufu, we got some education to do.
Me or her? Because I thought she was gonna do it.
No, that was a you bit. That was a you bit. Well done. You know, hey, growing pains. It's all right. He's never done this before on this channel. We'll cut him a little bit of slack. But welcome everybody. We have the Angel of Verdun in the house. Ash is back. She is in town. She is hanging out. Obviously, Tufu is here, and it is shaping up to be a fantastic evening. Now, Tufu, I assume that you watch this show from time to time.
Once in a while.
Do you know what Hypo does at this point in the show?
No, I do not. Please enlighten me.
He takes a guess at who he thinks got the first comment of the stream. So, Tufu, since you are filling in for Hypo, without cheating, don't fucking look. I am watching your eyes right now to see if they're scrolling. Don't fucking look, okay? Who do you think got first?
Who's one of the your mods?
It doesn't matter. You just got to guess. Okay, think
So
of
it's definitely not Diggy B.
It is not Dickie B.
It's not. Let's see.
I'm not giving you any more than that.
Tony is either typically first or.
Gotta give me an answer. Give me an answer.
Tony.
Hey, he got it. Yes.
Really?
Operator Tony is first in the house. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through a bit of a roll call. Operator Tony dropping the first in the comments. Trauma following it up very quickly saying first? There is a bit of a dispute here between the top three because Operator Tony, Trauma, and Crazy Eyes are all claiming first, but according to my screen, Operator Tony does have it. Trauma comes in at number 2, and Crazy Eyes is at number 3. Very quickly followed up by Yuri. He says, lol, same title as last week. No, it is not, sir. No, it is not. For some reason, with YouTube's new live system, whenever I click to edit the live stream, it sends out a message to everybody saying that I'm live when I'm not actually live. So, like, I have no way of pre-editing the title anymore. So bear that in mind as you join the stream. N7X Ranger follows it up by saying gonk. Carnage is just message redacted. Looks like the CIA or ATF got him. Blobfish is in the house saying, hey, what's going on? What's up, Blob? Damien Strubble, he's saying he's here, and we're happy that you are, Damien. Dickie B says, what the fuck is gonk? And I'm still working on that too, buddy. But I'm sure it's something funny. Who else do we got? We got the Amish Mafia in the house. They also want to know what the fuck is gonk. Gonk droids, obviously Star Wars reference according to them. Who else do we got in the house? We got 35 people hanging out with us tonight, so we got to see some different names here coming up here shortly. Dr. Catmilk saying, hello, fellow humans. Hello back to you, fellow humans. Although, based on that greeting, I am slightly doubting your humanity right now. I'm calling that Dr. Catmilk is, in fact, an alien.
Please select all the pictures that have a school bus.
Scott P79 is here. He's saying, yo, back to you, Scott. Meatball 150 is, of course, here, as always. Meatball 150's got to be... He's got to be getting close to one of the records, or like one of the record holders, if not being the record holder for consecutive streams viewed. This dude has been here, I don't even know how many weeks now, and it's insanity. He's been here, my guess is he hasn't missed a stream in close to about a year.
Wow.
Like, I remember Meatball from way back when. I could be wrong, Meatball, correct me in the comments. But let's see who else we got. We got Canadian AR-15 Guy, always a fantastic name to see in the chat. When Canadian AR-15 Guy shows up, you know it's going to be a good night. He says, I made it. It's beer too long. Been too long. Crazy Eyes is in the house saying, I'm drinking water because of a kidney infection. Well, that sucks, buddy. Ooh. I'll tell you what, we'll raise one up to you tonight. Let's all drink in mourning to his kidneys. For Crazy Eyes. Cheers.
I just downed mine.
There you go. Just like it ain't no thing. Be careful. SHOT Show isn't till January. You don't have to drink that hard here.
Oh, I
unless you
work out
want
every
to.
day just to prepare to impress my Tyler.
No, you were gonna say to do embarrassing things live on the stream because you've done. Oh my gosh, Ash, remind me to tell you an embarrassing story about Tufu after I get done with roll call
Noted.
here. Okay.
No, we're not.
All right. JBox702
Yes, we
is in the house. JBox702 says, "Let the dumpster fire commence." And yes, we shall, sir. We've got the dumpster fire crew in the house with Tufu and Ash. Every time these two
Demonstrate.
join me or Hypo on the show, it all goes to hell. Joseph Detmer, React 942 says, "Taco cat spelled backwards is taco cat." Well, that is news to me, but it's an old palindrome, but it checks out. Dickie B, already talked about him. Mark Linneman says, "Hey, how are you?" Oh, excuse me. Let me get the hat out of the way here for just a sec. Hey, how are you? Or even better,
Hey, how are you?
hey, how are you? Right back to you, Mark. Happy to have you. Boog Brand is in the house. What's going on, Boogie Boys? Who else do we got? Tufu, that guy. He's always wild. Crimson Phoenix, what's going on, Crimson? He says gonk as well. Apparently, this is just becoming a recurring meme. We got Brutus. Brutus is in the house. He's saying the only thing in my fridge is 10 White Claws from a very old lady that left them, and some leftovers from the garden plus chicken. That's what I'm messing with tonight. That sounds like a damn good night. Perfectly honest with you, it sounds like a damn good night.
Chuck all 9 of them, and sip on the last one.
Chug all 9 of them, slam a chicken, sip on the last one. That's my only. This is funny.
Sounds like a very low-calorie night.
So
Good for him.
We have Joseph Detmer in the house, and then we have Detmer family in the house saying Tundra Nation on the big screen. Let me give you, excuse me. Let me give you a big screen voice here.
The Tundra Nation on the big screen. MFers.
Makes me slightly nervous that a family watching this.
Believe it or not, so it's actually this is funny. We've had this as like a recurring theme. Oh my gosh, I think that this could be possibly. So Ash, apparently you're popular. I didn't know if you knew this. I didn't know if you knew this because I think that this is the first time since the rebranding of the channel. Because on episode 100 we killed off Tundra Talk as a show, and then we rebranded it to the Tundra Nation. I think this is the first time we've hit 40 congruent viewers in a show. So well done, Ash. Well done, Tufu, and well done, the Tundra Nation.
Yeah,
Let's see. We got
the first female.
Richard Olson is in the house. Is she the first female in the Tundra Nation? I think she is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the last female was Carrie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that show started out with just a giant cleavage shot. I remember that one very well.
Which, by the way,
I don't have that much to work with, so sorry to disappoint.
That's all right. Tufu's got you covered popping the button tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Dave Underwood saying, "Woo! It's a fine night in the Ozark Hills. Howdy y'all to you, Tundra Tundra Nation junkies. Welcome, buddy. And from the we don't have anything too crazy up here, but from the great northern city of Plymouth, we're here broadcasting to you down in the Ozark Hills. Gotwood Joe is in the house. Brian saying, "What the gonk? Or what is this gonk shit?" Yeah, it's a droid apparently.
Likewise, Brian.
This is weird. Okay, Ash, do you know Drew Burning? Do you know a Drew Burning by any chance? It all he says is just Emily Blunt, and you know the reason I bring this up?
Yep.
That's all he says.
Oh, so many reasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Right on.
John Allen's in the house. He says, "No, it's Gork and Mork. Gork was dumb. Gork was too dumb." Okay, that I'm gonna read this as he typed it. Gork was too dumb to wah. I don't get it. Wah. I don't get it. But hey, you know, I can't get everything, I suppose. Ben W's in the house. Mistakes were made, he says. Yes, showing up here on a Saturday night, definitely. That is the case.
More
Who
to follow.
else? You know, who else? Oh gosh, I hate it when YouTube does that. I know I had another couple of people. We got Dave Underwood. We already talked about him. William Cooper saying, "What's up? What's up, y'all? Rocket Fuel Malt Liquor. Dazam! It's crappy. If you get that joke, you're cool. Lag Demon's in the house. He says, "Aw shit, future and Ash, let's go." Is your name Future in this?
No, so
Tufu?
anytime that anybody type the word future, it tags me automatically.
Oh, okay. That's helpful because I keep trying to tag you and I have no idea how to do it. Okay, that's good. That's good to know for the future. More gonking happening, apparently. Ambassador Pineapple is in the house. He says, "Rip his kidneys." Fair enough. That could be stated for a vast majority of the people in this chat tonight.
Mr. Air Force.
Hypoluxia says, "Love y'all. Be back next week. We miss you, Hypo. Enjoy your evening tonight, sir. Doing whatever the heck it is that you are doing." And of course, YouTube scrolls me directly to the bottom. Make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I don't think that I did. If I did miss your name, I apologize. Just keep sticking around. We will make sure to give you a shout out in one of the coming weeks. But it is time to introduce our extra special guest for this fine evening. If you guys are new to the channel, our extra special guest every week is Little Miss Ellie Bean. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. My daughter is no longer tiny. She is, look at that
smile.
She's playing coy right now with everyone. Yes, hello, little love.
Grab,
Is that Daddy's hat? Yeah, that's your favorite. That's one of your favorite toys.
Those judgy eyes.
She's like, Horace. Why do you endorse Horace optics? Get out of here, scrub. That's what she's saying to me right now. Yes. Hello, Ellie. Look, you're on TV. You're on TV. Kinda. You're on the internet. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Who's my little love? See this back here? She's starting to get little curls in her hair. It's funny. Yes. Hello. Can you say hi to the Tundra Nation?
Can you say Tufu? Can you say Tufu?
She might be able to go like two.
Can you say hippopotamus?
Two.
Hippopotamus?
Yes. There was a good one. She's like, I'm excited to be on.
I will take it.
Yes. Are you talking? Are you doing your own live show right now? Dickie B, grab the beard. She will if I hold her towards my face. Yes. She's like,
oh god.
So big. Are we so big? Yes, are we so big?
She's through the hole.
Yes, we are. She's like, I don't want to go to bed yet, Dad. Mm-hmm. Sassy face. That's a sassy face. That's our new face. That's our sassy face.
Her
Yes.
cheek is so puffy. I love it.
You're just being all kinds of cute tonight. You're hamming it up for that camera. She's like, if I stay super cute, they're not going to put me to bed. But psych, Daddy doesn't work like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a couple of big smooches and or big hearts in the chat to Little Miss Ellie Bean. And let's, of course, as always, give a round of applause to the real hero of the show, Mama Mego in the background, taking care of Miss Ellie Bean so that the show can go on. I don't know if you guys know this, if you're new to the channel here, but if you are married and your wife doesn't like what you do, you're probably not going to be doing it for very long. So
Or married very long.
or married very long, yep. So us as the Tundra Nation, as a nation, should all collectively give hearts and kisses to Little Miss Ellie Bean for being awesome and cute on camera, and a round of applause to the wonderful, beautiful, and extremely tolerant Mama Mego for putting up with my shit week after week. What is this? 117 weeks pretty much straight at this point in time. So
Yeah.
we love you, Mama Mego. We love you, Little Miss Ellie Bean, and thank you for being amazing. We love you. I love you too. Mwah. All right, it's bedtime for you, little bug. Boop, boop.
That was so super cute.
Big round of applause and a big round of hearts for Mama Bean and Ellie Mego. Ellie Bean and Mama Mego. Yes, I know. Okay, one more kiss. She's like, no.
Go home, Tyler. You're drunk.
Your whiskey tastes like lips. So with that being said, guys, let's move into a quick bit of housekeeping. Then we'll dive into the next segment of the show. And since Hypo is not here, we've affectionately renamed it to something which will debut here very shortly. But in terms of housekeeping, guys, if you like the channel, if you like Tundra Tactical, the Tundra Nation live stream, damn it, I forgot to do it again this week. I knew there was something I was forgetting. There will be links in the description, courtesy of Operator Tony here, to join our Discord. Yes, we do have an official Discord. If you are not on there, what the hell is wrong with you? What is going on? What is so wrong in your life that you wouldn't want to experience the Tundra Nation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Because that is exactly what happens. It's a giant shit show. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You get to hang out with us, myself, Tufu, occasionally Ash when she's around, Hypo. You get to play games with us. Right now we're playing Star Wars Squadrons. We're playing the hell out of that, which is where all this gonk stuff is happening from.
Because you rage quick, pop booty.
That is true. I did a couple of times. I did that very, very famously. So yeah, if you guys want to play games with us, if you want to hang out with us, talk to me, talk to Tufu, Hypo, Ranger, the rest of the mod crew, and just get to know who we are and what we're all about, as well as socialize with the rest of the Tundra Nation, follow the link that Operator Tony is dropping in chat to our to our relatively weathered Discord server.
Oh,
and
jeez.
And partake in the debauchery, chicanery, and chaosery that goes on in there. 2 of those were hashtag vocab words. 1 was not. If you guys feel like taking the next step and financially supporting the channel, maybe donating a couple of your hard-earned kopecks, we do have a couple of ways that we can do that. If you would be so kind as to throw a penny or two our way every now and again, the first method that we prefer is Patreon, and you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Tundra Tactical. That is correct. It is /Tundra Tactical, not the Tundra Nation. So patreon.com/Tundra Tactical for that. Donate whatever you want. Heck, have some fun. We appreciate it all. It helps keep the channel going, helps me get cool shit like that to make the stream sound better, new microphones and stuff like that to give you guys all a better experience for the live show. That's what all that money goes to. And then our preferred method, so that I can go out and actually afford maybe 2 or 3 more 9mm rounds, would be direct through PayPal, and that would be using the email address tyler@tundratactical.com. That is tyler@tundratactical.com. The proximity effect on this microphone is amazing, by the way. Like, once I get real nice and close up here, it just sounds it just sounds so good.
Oh,
That was for you, Tufu, by the way.
yum.
So
Speaking
that
of Tufu, embarrassing story about
Yes.
Tufu.
Fuck you, woman.
So while you were away, post a live stream here, and don't worry, Tufu, this isn't terribly embarrassing. While you were away, post a live stream, we were all hanging out. Actually, it was the live stream where we wished Wolfie Boy a happy birthday.
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I don't blame you based on what this story is about. So we're all in a big voice chat, and I don't know if I'd done a call-in show or not, but I had everybody on the chat. We were all wishing Wolfie a happy birthday. We were all giving our testimonials to the Tundra Nation Discord, and all of a sudden we get to Tufu, and I'm like, Tufu, what's going on, buddy? Tell everyone why they should be joining the Tundra Nation Discord, and it's just a picture of him fucking assed out, asleep, snuggling his RD. I think it was his RD, and he just looked so peaceful and serene. It was the embodiment, the epitome of beautiful. It was love. It was cuddling. It was snuggling. It was just he couldn't have shown more love if he was caressing it. I mean, face like pressed up against the barrel, just.
That never happened.
Oh, it did. Well, I can find the episode and find the spot. I mean, it's recorded. It's on the internet, Tufu. You can't deny
I
it.
forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. Remember, it's just like Vegas. It's not what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's what happens in Vegas stays on Instagram. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up for housekeeping this week. Like I said, just as a real quick recap, If you want to join the Discord, please go ahead and follow the links. If you want to support us, find us on Patreon at patreon.com/TundraTactical or on PayPal using the email address tyler@tundratactical.com. With that being said, we do have a couple of shout-outs to make. We got 50 bones coming in from Dickie B. Dickie B is winning the award for probably most money contributed to the channel. He has donated probably 15 or 20 weeks straight, a $50 donation. So Dickie B,
22 weeks, I believe.
yeah, Dickie B is freaking outstanding. So Dickie, thank you very much for that. And then our old boy, we already called him out earlier for being an outstanding human being and supporter of the channel in terms of his longevity in watching the show. But Meatball 150 for the second time gets a shout out, dropping the 20 bones via PayPal. If you guys want to follow their great example, we're more than happy to accept a couple of kopecks from you. Please go ahead and do so now if you would like to get a little bit of a shout out. Although you don't have to, because we're going to love you long time anyways. That was a Tufu reference.
Love you long time.
Yep. Oh, excuse me, Tufu.
Oh,
Hello,
God.
I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese. Fuck you, big boy. Fuck you, big boy. Fuck you, big boy.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's dive into the first segment of the show. Normally, we call this Hypo's Hot Takes, but since Hypo is not here, we're calling it Toofy Talks. So Toofy Talks is the segment of the show where Tufu takes over for a minute or two, poses a question or two to myself and Ash and the rest of the Tundra Nation here, and we get to answer it live on the air. Maybe do a little discussion topics for you. So Toofy, take it away for the first edition of Toofy Talks.
Hell yeah. All right. So I think in end of September, this company called son of a bitch, I'm now drawing a blank. The owner of Remington, come on, somebody
Freedom
help
Group.
me out. Freedom Group, thank you very much. Thank you, come again. Just recently
Fuck you, big boy.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Freedom Group.
There
just,
are no brakes
Nailed
on this
it.
commie fuck train.
Freedom Group just parted way with some of their sub companies, and one of the company that picked up Lonoki
Long time?
ammunition.
Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. By Vista Outdoors, based out of Minnesota.
Hey, I know those guys.
Yeah, yeah, and then Sierra Bullets picked up Barnes, which is the bullet or ammo that I have been carrying since I was 21. And Ruger picked up Marlin, which
Mhm.
you know
That
gonna only get better.
that is an interesting
That's
one.
actually gonna
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about that. And then here's a couple ones that are really interesting, and then they're not in order. Is a company or a holding company called JJE Capital bought DPMS, H&R, Storm Lake, AAC, and a couple others as well. They're also the company that's parent company of Palmetto State.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So that's gonna get real interesting because they can probably do something with DPMS.
I didn't know that PSA was not a independently held company.
I didn't know either until recently.
Yeah.
And
Aren't they
then
looking at acquiring Remington as well?
I hope so.
I think I at least heard that out
I
there
sure-
somewhere.
There's no official word, and if there is, please let me know. But there's no official word on who's got Remington yet. But here's a couple other ones that are really interesting to me. Franklin Armory bought Bushmaster.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
So
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
gonna get a 25 Mike reformation now?
We'll find out.
Yeah. I like where your head's at, but
I
And then
mean,
some of the-
I mean, when they do get into those larger bore cannon sizes, I mean, smooth bore ain't necessarily a bad thing.
also yes. But yeah. 2020
God
the
bless America.
M242. near
God
and
bless
dear to my heart.
America.
Oh, I know. Okay, so what's the question here? What's the Toofy Talk
There's
question
no
here?
question. There's actually just a couple, just my rant, I suppose.
Rant
And then
away.
And then Franklin Armory, by Bushmaster. Here's one that I personally am interested in. Ash, you should, or you might be too. Is Sportsman's Warehouse bought Tapco, and I don't know
Not
what they're gonna.
surprising.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the old designs. But if they reamp up the Tapco G2 which is literally the only thing that Tapco ever made that's decent.
Okay.
And if they
I can kind of caveat off that. I will say, and I am a lover of weird pistol grips. You know, 'cause
God.
almost every pistol grip that I like, other people despise with like very visceral passion. Like
in the
it's
65.
real. No, I was gonna say so the old Tapco saw grips for AKs. Back when there was back when you couldn't get any of the like the US Palm grips or some of the remakes of it. Like before you could get any other types of AK grips, there was the saw grip. And I actually did like that. So I will caveat that by saying the Tapco saw grip was actually pretty good. It was durable. I liked the way that it felt. And that big grip gave you a lot of control over, the AK. So that's my one caveat.
That thing felt like a Yugoslavian grip with checkers on it or lines on it. That's it.
Bigger. But
I think I have one in the garage somewhere.
So I have the shout out to Operator Tony for Ashley's benefit here to find the clip of good old Toofy Boy sleeping on stream. It is an epic bit. It's one of my favorite bits that we've done since we rebranded the channel. So we're gonna show it tonight. Operator Tony, Dickie B, the rest of my mod team out there, search back. It's the episode where I wish Flying Wolf a happy birthday. I don't know if that helps at all, but if one of you guys can find that before the end of the show at 11 p.m. tonight, that would be fantastic. You have an hour and a half to do so. Stick around the whole show here so that you can see that as Tufu gives you the middle finger.
I literally hate you all.
So the one that I'm kind of interested about, and this might sound really weird coming from me, but it's the whole Marlon Ruger bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm in no way, shape, or form really a lever-gat guy, but I've always said this, like many times I've been asked, what's my guilty pleasure gun? Okay, let me.
Mare's Leg.
What's that?
Mare's Leg.
Okay, you know me too well. You know me too well.
You know why I know this? Because the very first time that I came onto your show, you asked me. And I remember to this day.
That's a guy. That's a good guy right there. That's a good guy right there. So yeah, my ultimate guilty pleasure gun is a Mare's Leg, because like I'm okay. Here's my theory behind that. You have your concealed carriers and you have your open carriers, right? Generally speaking, we look at those open carriers and we kind of scoff and we shake our heads a little bit because chances are they're carrying an original XD and a Serpa holster or something like that. Just some ridiculous FUD shit, just trying to flex on everyone else saying, look at me, I got a gun, boy. It's like, okay, number one, you're a fucking idiot. Number two, if you're gonna be an idiot and flex on somebody, do it in the proper fucking way. Okay.
It was Johnny Cash. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
Exactly. Okay. So if you're gonna open carry something just to flex, thigh holster a fucking Mare's Leg in a leather cowboy holster and just walk somewhere with that shit on. Okay.
Shoulder holster, M29.
Dude,
like
big flex. Big flex.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it. You can't be doing some of this, poor shit where you're just like, oh, I have the same gun that a bazillion other people have. Big flex. I'm carrying it on my hip. No, you're not impressing anybody. There is literally
size black gun.
Yeah, exactly.
In a Black Hawk holster.
Yeah, there's literally nobody that's impressed with you right now. The only thing that you're doing is tooting your own horn, and nobody likes that. But when you walk around with a Mare's Leg strapped to your thigh, not even hip holster, straight thigh holster, old school cowboy style, you are doing the world a service. You are doing a world of service. Not by protecting them, but by showing them the gloriousness of those little stubby lever gats, man. Those things are fucking cool as shit. And
you're doing America a service.
America, yes, you are.
No, it's your patriotic duty to do so.
Ash, our mutual friend John, doesn't he have one too?
Yeah.
And then you did the whole
it's his wife's,
thing.
Actually. It's his
wife's. By the way, his wife is a straight up gangsta. Because I used to work with her.
All right.
And she had a judge in her purse 24/7, 365.
Yeah. We got another quick PayPal shout out to Rock right here. Brian, aka Trauma, dropping the 30 bones into the super chat, or not super chat, excuse me, into the PayPal. So thank you very much. If you want to follow Trauma's example, Tyler at PayPal or Tyler at TundraTactical.com on PayPal.
Ladies and gentlemen, dollar bills, y'all.
No, you're close. You're close. The Danny McBride bit is dollar bill, y'all. You're close though. I'll give it to you.
I'm Asian.
It's a solid fine out of 10. It's a solid fine out of 10. But yeah, so the thing that intrigues me is the Ruger and Marlin bit. Because what I'm hoping for, so Ruger's this tricky company for me. It's a very tricky company for me because I love to hate on a lot of the stuff that Ruger has out there. Because let's be honest, the EC9, the LCP2s, like they have a bunch of dog shit garbage on the market. But at the same time, they've got a lot of cool shit too. So another gun that I don't think that a lot of people would expect me to like, but I really, really, really do, is the Ruger, the Scout, the 308 Scout.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the 10-round box-fed mag with the forward-mounted rail and the ghost ring and peep or the ghost ring sight, the bolt gun. I love that gun, and I absolutely love the PC9 series. I think the PC9 series is a fantastic little shooter, especially their takedowns, kind of like the evolution, like the big brother of the 1022. Obviously, the 1022 is the staple of the Ruger line, along with like the Mark series deuces.
That was something I was going to bring up. You know, as soon as you said, you know, Ruger and Marlin, the first thing that I thought of was 22s. You know, because a lot of us grew up on 22s, and like, what were the 22s that everybody had? You know, you either had insert. Marlin 22
exactly.
Action, some of the lever actions, the bolt actions with the two head magazines, or you had Ruger 1022. But that was like my childhood. Ruger and Marlin 22s.
That's you grew up on guns on Ruger and Marlin if you're around our age, and that is absolutely true. So the thing that intrigues me is I see Ruger as like this split company where half of the company is just dedicated to regurgitating bullshit, and then the other half of the company is like, no, let's actually do something kind of cool. And so what I'm hoping happens, what I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that happens, is that the Marlin side of things lands on the let's do something cool side of Ruger, because there's a very specific reason I brought the mare's leg up. Is there used to be kind of a knockoff of the mare's leg, the Rossi Ranch Hand. But Rossi is since, I believe, gone under, and I think they were absorbed by Chiappa at some point.
Yes.
And then Chiappa rebranded that Ranch Hand. Now the Ranch Hand used to be like $350. It was stupid cheap. Now, unfortunately, they didn't make it in 44 mag, I don't believe, which is the one I want. So the mare's leg in 44 was like my dream gun, but they made the Rossi Ranch Hand in 357 Magnum, which is cool. But I really wanted the 44. But then Chiappa made a 44 version of it, but it cost more than a fucking mare's leg does. It costs like $1,000 or close to $1,000. It's like $890. It's like, no, I'm not fucking paying that. You know, it's all Rossi. Okay, it used to be $300. Now it's $850 just because Chiappa bought it. What kind of fucking nuts does Chiappa have? Chiappa's not a great gun company. I'm sorry, N7X Ranger. Chiappa sucks. Okay, they make goofball shit. They make goofball shit. Yeah, okay, get fucked, nerd. Nobody likes them except for Ranger and maybe you.
Yeah.
But I don't like them.
Really like that
I'm holding a grudge. I'm holding a grudge because of that shit. They're taking Chiappa guns and marking them up by 2.5x and calling them, they're taking Rossi guns and marking them up by 2.5x and calling them Chiappas and expecting me to buy that shit. Fuck off. So what I'm hoping for, what I'm crossing my fingers for, is we get a mare's leg like melding from Ruger and Marlin. You know, something, because let's be honest here, it's not a very in-demand gun by any means, but Ruger has been known to invest a lot of money in not very in-demand guns in the past.
Also yes. Yeah, it is the definition of a niche market.
Yeah.
Which also, it is still called the Mare's Leg by Chiappa, and
Is it?
It is $1,288.
Yeah, come on. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way I'm paying that. I would buy a normal Mare's Leg, but okay, so I'm gonna have to look this up.
You can almost buy an Arsenal 107F for that amount of money.
Hold on, I gotta look this up here real quick.
But do not buy 107Rs or F.
No. The R's are currently out of circulation. I'm using that word very carefully.
If I remember correctly, so this is the thing. This is the thing that I very much dislike about the Mare's Leg, and the reason I always preferred the Rossi Ranch Hand, and the reason I like Marlin over Henry. Might be, very controversial statement, but it's the absolute reason that I like the Ranch Hand over the Mare's Leg and Marlin over Henry is Henry does not generally use a side gate loader. They use the tube magazines.
Yeah.
And that sucks. That's dumb. It's stupid. It's idiotic. It's a lever gat. The traditional feature of the lever gat, the marquee feature of the lever gat outside of the fucking lever is the side gate loader. That's one of the coolest parts of it. And they don't do it. And most if not all of the Mare's Legs that I know of out there don't have that, and it sucks. They're the stupid, pop this tube out, and then put the tube back in.
Why are you even doing it if it doesn't look cool?
Yeah, exactly.
Rule number one. Very important.
Look and sound cool always.
Yeah.
Rule number one, cardio?
Or that.
No.
Also, Ashley, just to touch on what you said, and this is like a personal rant between me and Ash, we don't have to go into it, but 107F,
yes,
I feel like it's gone down in quality significantly, because once you crack them open, a lot of the stuff that inside of it does not look right. It looks like refurbished.
I honestly can't speak of it because I haven't seen the latest gen on the market of 107Fs.
And also, Arsenal Bulgaria hates Arsenal USA.
Well, and I mean, here's the one thing that
internal differences there.
Well, here's the one thing that I do know is, just basic, the firearms industry, and especially the kind of private market, follows basic economic rules. So right now, we are in a period of very, very high demand for a number of different reasons, which everybody's well aware of. And as that high demand, companies can and are going to move to meet that demand. And one of the ways they do it, if they are not a company of the finest moral caliber, is they're going to start cutting corners at QC to meet that demand as quickly as they can, because they're still going to make the same amount of money. So, as we start to hear reports of a lot of firearms this year flying off the line that are not necessarily up to snuff, really shouldn't surprise anybody. Even some of the companies we know and love, they're just trying to meet the demand signal.
It's honestly a solid point.
That, and also Arsenal USA and Arsenal Bulgaria are not the same company. They just share the same name, similar name. And then Arsenal Bulgaria has not shipped kits consistently to Arsenal USA for a long ass time.
So that would be interesting then.
They're scavenging up parts, I think, because the barrel pin, it's like a fucking size of a gaping asshole.
Yikes!
But it's also, that's relatively easy to kind of track. You check, receiver for made in Bulgaria, which I think the receivers probably are if it's an Arsenal receiver, and then you start doing serial number checking. So I mean, they can redo that shit, but also, like, everybody knows it's a matter of historical record what a Bulgarian serial number looks like.
Duh.
So, and the other thing is, if they go through all the ass pain to exactly replicate, a Bulgarian serial number on all the parts, detail on the small things generally leads to detail on some of the bigger things in the rest of the gun. So I think that it's either going to be all serial number matching, it's going to be tight, it's going to be right, made in Bulgaria, or it's not, and that may point to other issues. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing.
Okay, we got 20 minutes left in this segment here. So Tufu, you had another part of Tufi Talks that you wanted to talk about tonight. A potentially controversial subject between yourself and myself, and then possibly excited to see what Ash has to say on the subject, on the topic. So go ahead with the second half of Tufi Talks.
So recently I watched a video, or not recently, but a little bit ago, is John Lovell. He's a well-known guy in the training and in the industry. And he said that anytime that he's doing self-defense or home defense, he is going to take off his suppressor off of the gun that's already docked on. And that's because he wants to make sure that
it's not loud and violent as fuck.
Yep. And I have hearing problems.
Sure.
I don't remember who I was hanging out with, but I don't know who I was saying, but I was working under the fan for about a day. And then when we got home, I couldn't hear. And, someone else was talking to me and I couldn't hear anything. And I'm trying to preserve all the hearing I have left.
What?
So, exactly.
I'm sure both Ash and I suffer from similar problems.
So that's why I have these things kicking around, and then some of them are for very special purposes. This is actually, since we can't show guns now, I had to take this thing off, and this is not.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if we can show suppressors, but fuck it, do it.
Oh,
I don't think they say anything. I don't think YouTube specifically references firearms accessories. Nice, good catch. But yeah, so
it's not a suppressor. It's just a really, really tiny muffler.
Yeah, there you go.
It's my dildo. It's my dildo.
So it's an interesting point that he brings up. It really is, and I think it's kind of a divisive topic that isn't really talked about a whole lot. Is okay? Do you drop a can on your home defense, carbine, or do you leave it loud and proud? So Tufu, your thoughts? What do you think on the subject?
I don't care who hears it, who does not. Is the fact that I sleep with this right next to me. I mean, I sleep with 4 guns actually. 5 guns actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
however,
is that counting the gun?
No, it does not.
So 6 guns.
I need this tax stamp for that.
Ooh.
But that's another story, another day. However, when I'm doing something, I wake up.
Sorry, he's only packing a 22.
Is it because it doesn't meet length requirements?
Yeah, right.
Fuck you, Ashley.
Love you a long time.
22 short.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
sir,
you guys have a good night. I'm out.
I need to see your paperwork.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Tufu's never heard that.
I don't ever show paperwork. Come on now.
Yeah, that's as well you should.
You should know me by no, or shit, fuck.
Tufu's paperwork, the only thing it is just testaments of former lovers, and all it says is it in?
Savage.
Yikes. I'm just kidding, Tufu. I love you. Okay, so let's talk about his point, because ultimately
I'm trying to preserve my hearing, and I don't care if who hears or who does not. By the time I'm done, it's gonna be, I'll call 911, I'll do this and do that, and do the due diligence. I don't need my neighbors to hear about it. I don't my entire cul-de-sac is armed.
Sure.
Everybody's armed, actually. My next door neighbor, he used to walk around with his hunting rifle on his back, knock on every single neighbor's door, be like, "Hey man, you wanna go hunting? You wanna go hunting today?"
Not with you, Dick Cheney.
Oh fuck. But anyhow, everybody's armed in this area, so I don't need anyone to hear about it or anything. If I can't defend myself, I probably shouldn't be, armed like this.
Yeah.
True.
And the way he put it, it made me feel like I'm gonna botch this word, authoritarian in a way.
You got it. Yep.
Because he was like, I want to make sure that when they enter the door, they know that they're gonna come in and
they're dying.
They're dying. No, I don't need that. It's like, people are saying, "Oh, I don't need to carry one in the chamber because if someone tried to rob me, I just show them my gun and they'll back off." It doesn't work like that, buddy.
True. Very true.
You know,
Now,
when
go ahead. Sorry.
when I hear it, not saying I will, but if I'm going somewhere and I hear gunshot, my alert is gonna be up. I will go in, and then if I hypothetically speaking, if I'm going to rob somebody, just want money, and if I hear gunshot, the first thing I'm gonna do is not, hey, give me your money. Is pop pop, our body search.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead.
Anywho, take it away.
So I'm gonna take the opposite end of the spectrum on this, because I actually so number one, to address your comment on like how you like the connotation that the video gave off, like this feeling of like authoritative, in your face, macho, stuff. A lot of people here kind of understand that in terms of John Lovell as a person, I'm not the world's biggest fan. But in terms of John Lovell as a trainer, I love everything that he does. So I'll give him that. I've talked to him a couple of times. I've felt that authoritarian vibe that you're feeling. That I refer to it kind of as like a holier than thou vibe. He might not mean it, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he does tend to come off, at least in person, as a little bit I'm better than you, and he is like with me. I've got nothing that I can hold a candle to against like eyes. Okay, I appreciate that, but he's got more hair than I do. He shoots more than I do. He's built better than I am. So I can't really I'm kind of hating on the guy because I'm not the guy. That might be my own damn shortcoming here, but I've always felt that there has been kind of that feeling that you were talking about in some of his videos, or in this particular video. However, I'm going to disagree with the whole suppressor for home defense comment, because I was one of the people who actually agreed very heavily with what he had to say, and the general consensus was John was advocating to not have a suppressor on your home defense gun for the physical and psychological effect that gun now has. Now, when I originally watched this, I was 100% on board the non-suppressor train, saying I agree with everything that he says. It's loud, it's violent, it's a short barrel. He's talking about shooting a short-barreled gun, so you get a big fucking flash, right? He's like, I don't care if it blinds me. I'm confident that I'm going to hit my target in the first couple of shots, right? But as I started thinking, and as I started really kind of taking into account my own personal situation over here with the family, there's a couple of variables. There's a couple of variables that, like, my heart wanted to say, yes, I want it loud, I want it violent, let's go. Full psychological warfare, psychological impact. I want this person hitting the deck, taking cover. Even if I miss him, I want him down and disabled so that I can call the cops and completely eliminate the threat. Hey, maybe I didn't even have to kill the guy. Okay, cool. But then I started thinking about it a little bit, and I started to kind of straddle the fence again a little bit more. There's a good part of me that still likes the idea that he brought to the table. And if you haven't seen his video, I would recommend going to watch it, because he makes some good points. I think at the end of the day, I disagree. I think I would rather have a suppressor, but he makes a lot of like very, very compelling points from the psychological and physical perspective.
Absolutely.
But I've got a kid.
I know.
Those ears are not nearly as built up as mine are. And even from a room away, if I'm shooting a 5.56, 10.5 inch, we haven't used that joke in a long time. That's an old school.
Hell yeah.
If you've been around long enough to hear the Ash, Tufu, Anthony, Hypo, and Tyler 10.5 inch jokes, there you go.
Oh, you motherfucker.
There you go.
That's why you get for fucking embarrassing me earlier.
If you've been around for that long, you deserve a crisp high five from us three generally disreputable individuals.
Indeed.
But so while he makes a couple of great points, the big concern that I have is I'm a dad. Okay? And those little ears in the other room, like I know that myself and Megan, we could stand probably 10 to 15 shots of 5.56 in an enclosed space before it really like there's some real big time damage involved. With those little ears that you saw on the stream earlier, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
The reason why I'm a such advocate for hearing protection is because growing up, I grew up in China. I grew up just within driving distance of a test range in China for a big manufacturer. And growing up, I shot machine guns, and never once I wore hearing protection. And death.
Yeah. Well, and I'm Ash, you and me. Sure, we got a little bit of that good old vitamin T.
I was just say our good old friend Snitus.
Yep.
Snitus.
So.
And then, every single suppressor is purposely built. There's like general purpose, like this Omega right here. There's Omega 60 or 46 now. Numbers are hard. So is our words. But anyhow, some of the suppressors are purposely built, some are not. Like this one right here is a purposely built, less back pressure. It makes your gun cycle perfectly okay without any modification. It does not cycle real hard. Versus stuff like this, where it's more of purposely for like 308s and 30 caliber. And then there are other ones where it's just noise reduction, like the Surefire, what is it, Warcom Mini or Surefire Minis. Those are literally just short enough where it did signature reduction plus sound reduction. It is still not hearing safe, or it's still not
if you're using super ammo,
movie quiet.
Yeah.
When you're shooting, like I shoot from my bedroom all the time, I still wear some kind of hearing protection because it is still loud.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
It does not make it like he made it sound like, oh, if I'm running my 300 black, it's got the person next door or next room would not be able to understand.
So one of the things to note with John's video is I think that there was an unsaid assumption that we're talking about subsonic ammunition.
Oh wow.
Running, and that was my feeling with it.
That's rich people money, rich people ammo.
Well, and that's once again kind of what we were talking about with John earlier is that there's that little
I'm poor.
Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
Like I said, my final statement on this is I straddle both sides of the fence. I understand a lot of where he's coming from, especially with the short-barreled stuff. The flash, the bang, the kind of the debilitating effect in a small, enclosed-ish space. But as life changes for an individual, you gotta semper gumby to that shit. You gotta be flexible. And you have to modify your needs based off of that. But what I'm really interested to hear is, Ash, your stance on this subject.
Okay, so pretty well defined stance. Unfortunately, as you guys have talked, I've been able to kind of gather my thoughts. But first thing that comes to mind is, let's look at it from his perspective. He's talking about the psychological effects of the report and muzzle signature of a firearm. So we know historically that this is huge because, the first thing that comes to mind is probably the most famous, muzzle signature of any weapon as far as, the report, cyclic rate, flash, MG42, right? It was well known by sound in World War II. Like all the reports are, okay, it's Hitler's buzzsaw. We can hear an MG42 that immediately changes, posture, tactics.
Consider the modern version of that with the definable report of the AK.
Yeah, exactly. But the report of the AK has always been described as distinct. Like the report of the MG42 was fear.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing?
That
that's the psychological side.
Yeah, it created psychological stimulus. Not only was it tactical stimulus, it was psychological. But as I say that, it all goes back to I've beat this dead horse. Anybody who's heard me speak on any live stream or on any topic ever has heard me say this thing over and over and over again, but I'm always going to go back to purpose. Purpose drives everything. Guns being tools, tools have a purpose. And the purpose of that firearm is not to scare or to psychologically affect.
Fair point.
The purpose of that tool is going to be to allow me to defend myself,
Sure.
not, okay. Really, it's not. The purpose of that tool is so that I'm able to engage a target as effectively as possibly and neutralize, that target.
I'm happy you said it that way. I'm going to barge in and devil's advocate this for a second.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't think that your definition and John's definition are all that dissimilar, even though I'm assuming that you're going to favor the suppressor side of things and he's going to favor the non-suppressor side of things.
Yeah.
So as devil's advocate to John's side, favoring non-suppressor or running slick and being loud and fucking flashy.
God. Excuse me.
Could you make a valid argument that percussive, vibrant, crazy, disorienting in a dark room, shit show that would happen from a 10.5-inch barreled AR could you possibly argue that would have a beneficial effect to the offensive or even defensive capability of that firearm?
So undoubtedly, yes. But the thing is, that is a two-way street. So I said, allow me to effectively neutralize my target. Yes, it is going to have all those effects as described by John, by everybody else here on your intended target. 110%, it will do all those things. Most of the time, I assume most people who break into the house don't necessarily expect to meet resistance.
Correct.
And
that I think is kind of where his point lies.
However, all those same effects, except maybe the surprise, because only one of the two of you is probably going to be surprised. Every other effect, as far as the concussion, the light, the disorientation, it's going to happen to both.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is what allows me to most effectively neutralize the target? A decreased signature, less concussion, because for me, honestly, the sound isn't as much as the concussion in a confined space.
Sure.
It starts to, rattle your cage. The other thing is, you kind of lose focus when you get hit with those concussion waves firing a weapon, especially short-barreled ones. And narrow,
you're in a tight hallway or something?
Yeah, exactly. So it's harder to keep, track of your target. That flash can particularly blind you. It can create a strobe effect. You lose your target as he's moving, because he's going to react. Whereas with the suppressor, I'm able to more effectively follow up, continue to engage, and ensure that, that situation is followed out.
Interesting point.
The other thing is, I also believe in, human nature, right? We're animals. And at some point in time, even if you don't necessarily know what it is, as Tufu said, suppressors aren't quiet. They're never Hollywood quiet. As soon as that thing starts going off, even if they don't recognize what's happening immediately, they're going to know something is wrong. Yeah. And I think more than likely, they're going to know, in their fucking animal brain, that they're under attack. But even if they don't, what's going to help me in the situation more satisfactorily and more reliably is being able to engage the target. Because if I have to come to that point, I need whatever is going to help me put rounds on target quickly, accurately, and also maintain situational awareness. Imagine you got one guy who enters, you start blasting away, you've got watermelon-sized muzzle flashes, everything's shaking, guy goes down, but somewhere in the meantime, you lost track of a second guy, you never even fucking knew who was in there.
That's a fair point.
Situational awareness for me is always huge. And especially when it comes to following moving targets, people who like to use, heavier recoiling weapon systems, nothing wrong with that. But when your muzzle comes up and you're engaging
Bren gun.
Whoa.
when you're engaging a living, breathing, moving target, weapon system comes up, your sight picture goes up, you lose sight of your target, you bring it back down. What if that target is moved? Did you drop it? Did they duck behind cover? Did they move to the left? Did they move to the right? Now we have to reacquire to re-engage. Anything that can help me maintain my situational awareness is automatically way more beneficial than any psychological effect. Because, at the end of the day, psychological effect is not, there's no guarantee that that's going to resolve the situation.
Sure.
Me being able to maintain situational awareness and accurately and reliably put rounds on target, that is going to ensure that I can.
That is a pretty hefty guarantee. So it just occurred to me. It just occurred to me that there might be quite a few people in this chat that don't know your background based off of that explanation. Would you care to just kind of give just a very brief, nondescript, where do you acquire a knowledge to speak on a topic like that?
Gotcha.
Well,
gotcha. So
can I do it?
Well, so I will say
you're within dropping
First
distance,
off,
so you can actually come over and stab me.
Well, so just bear with me. What I did want to say is just for both you guys' benefit and for the benefit of the chat, the way that I'm set up, I can't see the chat. So guys, please help me key on something if you think that there's something that should be brought to my attention. But go for it. I'll let Tufu take a stab at it.
She's the new Burn girl. She's the new AK girl, and she might stab me here pretty soon. We're solid. There you go.
So Ash, your history. Oh, go ahead.
Where's my ruler?
Oh, God.
She's the original. She's the original 10 and a half inches worth of magic happens.
That is part of my history. Yes,
let's get a hashtag there where the magic happens.
Take it away, Ash. Sorry.
Yeah,
about
Ash.
that.
Ash, tell us a little bit about where you kind of developed that mindset.
Okay. So first off, lifelong gun nut, developed a love for the AK platform at a very young age. Most of you guys already know that or have assumed that. But no. So I'm sitting on 7 coming on 8 years, active duty Army as an officer. I've spent most of my time in military service as an infantry officer, though I am transitioning to a new job where I will be a simulations officer, basically designing training programs for the Army at the tactical to, strategic, operational and strategic level. So
that's awesome.
That's what I did.
You have some experience in
Yes.
in what we would consider to be, maybe. I don't want to say erroneously, but like the close quarters style of.
I've had a lot of military training and military experience with a lot of these, so not just the theory, I've been taught the theory, but also the practice.
Physical practice,
so,
yeah.
So I was a, mechanized infantry platoon leader for, I think it was mechanized infantry platoon leader for about 15 months. I was an indirect fire, infantry platoon leader, mechanized mortars for another 8. But like I've had some time down the line where I've seen a lot of this stuff applied, and I've been overseas a couple times doing it.
A couple of times, yep.
Yeah. So
there's some knowledge to back up that it's not all theory. There's a lot of knowledge to back up the actual theory there too. So you should listen to what she has to say. That's what I'll say. Real quick, I want to address a comment here in the chat. Laughturd says, "Hey, at Tundra Nation, I'm at a friend's house. Explain to him why he needs to join the Discord." Well, I'll tell you what, bud. I can talk about it all night long. My opinion, because I started and run the Discord, only goes so far. So I'll let Tufu tell you the reasons why you should join the Discord, because
you get to come in, hang out with us, play video games, and you get to have your, I'll just give you my experience. One night I was really drunk and really tired, so I was just on my phone looking through videos, and I stumbled across what does your caliber say? Yeah, what does your caliber say about you? And I start typing, and then I passed out because I was shit-faced. You don't say. And then I just passed out, and I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh yeah, I typed that, and I was between sending it and not sending it. I was like, whatever, sent. And then a couple hours later, I got a reply, or a like and a reply. I was like, holy shit, a big ass YouTuber just replied to me.
Tufu.
And even though at the time he only had like a couple thousand viewers or subscribers, and then from there we became friends. Yep. And now I'm on his mod team, and making suggestions
co-hosting
on
shows.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, there's that. Well, enough vodka, everything's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is all right with enough vodka.
Duh. And join us. We'll hang out. We'll play video games with me and Dickie B. We'll play with Tyler and Hypo. Well, everybody has like different genre of games we can play and discuss about, guns, general life stuff. We post like our pets.
Yep, pets, food, everything. Here's my general synopsis of it is if you just want to have a good time and be part of a good like wholesome community. I know a lot of GunTuber like community discords can get a little chaotic and crazy. I'm fortunate because of guys like Tufu and Dicky and Ranger and Hypo and the rest of the mod team. We don't have that here. You won't survive very long if you start getting a little too edgelordish. In our server. So it's a cool place to be. You get to speak your mind as long as you keep it respectful. Yep. I don't care how controversial your opinion is, just as long as you keep it respectful. And you listen to people, but you go in there and you have a fucking good time. And I think that's the big thing about our server is you get to play games with me and Hypo and Tufu and things like that. You get to potentially have a chance to get to be good enough friends with me where you're invited on the show, stuff like that. That's how I met Tufu. That's how I met Hypo. A lot of the other people that have been on the show have been met through connections that I've made from Tufu and Hypo, i.e. Ash, and it's a cool place to be, and it's fun. You get to talk about guns, you get to play games, you get to show off your shit, and have a damn good time doing it, and make friends. That's the other big thing.
It's an actual community and more than just name.
It is.
Absolutely.
The Tundra Nation, baby. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, well, okay. Yes, we'll definitely do that.
Actually, I would like to add one more thing on top of what Ashley just said earlier is a situational awareness.
I love
this is kind of like self-bragging a little bit. Last year, I was in downtown Nashville with a really big YouTuber that we all know.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I know exactly.
3 a.m. rolls around.
That hair, though.
Oh,
so I got text messages at 2 a.m. and I was like, who the fuck is texting me? I was like, oh.
Yeah, so long story short, regardless their skin color, regardless of where they're from, I got jumped by 7 people. And how I got out of it was I just backed my back against the wall. The first person took a punch. The second person, I got a hold of them. And they were not expecting someone fighting back.
Fucking Wing Chun that shit?
Well, I was drunk.
Okay.
I couldn't Wing Chun my...
Did you drunken master that shit? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, damn it. Long story short, is most people don't expect, you to fight back. Fuck you. Fuck you, big boy.
That's all I imagine Tufu yelling in that moment.
Fuck you, big boy.
Oh, God. But
sorry to
most
shit your
people don't expect, to fight back. And when you do, they're not... They're most likely going to back out.
Honestly, Tufu, that's less about situational awareness, and it's more about just being a hard target. I mean, bad guys are going after the easiest possible things out there, and when they identify you, they're either making a correct or incorrect assumption that you are an easy target. When you disprove them, go ahead, Ash.
I was going to say I got a big caveat off that. So there's something else that just very much occurred to me on that, just in pop media right now. I'm not going to dive into the issue, but so there was from protests and shit going along. Was it Kyle Rittenhouse is his name, right? Mm-hmm. So you notice that, you didn't see a mob chasing, a lot of the, militia looking dudes in their full kit because, so rule number 1 actually does go slightly deeper than just a fun catch line, always look cool, right? Like the thing is, if you look like you got your shit together, somebody is less likely to fuck with you. Not saying they're not going to, but they're less likely to fuck with you. Because people generally are looking for weak targets. Then you have a kid with a shitty AR, and rubber gloves on. Turns out that was a mistake to fuck with him. However, that could be a potential reason why they went after him instead of somebody in a fucking plate carrier. I'm not saying, that, like I said, I'm not making any overarching statements, but just something that I recognized, like all these videos that we've seen of people having to use firearms, or people using firearms, I'll say, in some of the recent civil unrest. It's typically not somebody, all Gucci'd up, looking like they got the shit together. And that's just an observation. There's a lot more that goes into it, a fuck ton more. but it's just something to think about.
It is. It's a good point. I can't remember the dude's name, but the dude who ripped the rifle out of the fucking Chumpy boy's hand. You know, that's a perfect
Armless?
example of what. No. Not the Rittenhouse guy who got shot in the arm, but my clone who was out in Seattle and ripped.
Didn't Mark interview him?
Yeah.
But no, and I mean, and that's the thing, like
they're not going after that guy.
Well, and it's the exact same thing, because what that guy had, is, he wasn't wearing gear, but what he had was good posture, because, once again, animal brain, like, there's a lot of different signaling, like, if I fucking, I can't really stand up, but, me standing up like this, leaning backwards is a whole lot different than me standing like this. Like, I mean,
you're ready to play at that
point. Yeah, it signals something totally different. So, aggressive stance is going to be, once again, just totally different. But another thing is you have to, like, actually know how to stand. People can sense when you, like...
Yeah, there's a difference between bluffing and actually, like...
Yeah.
When if you're relying on people to call your bluff, you got a 75 or 70-30 chance of maybe coming out on top of that one. That's odds that I'm not really willing to stake my life on. Now, Ash, I think we're gonna call it here for this segment. I have a treat for you, Ashley. I have a treat for you. And Tufu, I have a treat for you as well, but not in the same way. Tufu is going to be very embarrassed. Ashley is going to be very happy.
Oh, fuck. No.
We have found it, Ashley. We have found the clip. We have found the clip we were talking about earlier. And I'm going to play it for you live on the air here. Unfortunately, it will be through a massive delay. So you'll have to just deal with the stream. And maybe
I remember from the Tarkov clip we played on MFR.
Now, are you going to be able to see this if I play it through the stream?
No.
Okay, so you're gonna
solve your problem, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna play it for your benefit. You're gonna have to go back and watch it to check it out. So we'll timestamp this at I don't even know. We're at hour and 13 minutes into the stream right now. So I started the stream a little early, so we're probably at like an hour and 45 minutes right now. So for the chat, we were talking about how Tufu was just cuddle snuggling an AK, passed out live on the air one night when we decided to do Discord testimonials, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I wish to share that with you all now, so I'm going to bring this over to the screen. It'll be live streamception here, so you guys will be able to see Discord stream inside of Discord stream, and bear with me as I get the spot just right. Yeah, don't wake him up yet.
I really hate you.
Tufu.
It's not subtle. It's not anything, but a tank being called Chooch Magooch. That might happen.
Richard Olsen, go fuck yourself.
I really want everybody in Discord
here it is.
to join General Voice and wake up Tufu, because apparently he's sleeping on camera right now.
Oh, I gotta look at this. Hold on. No, don't wake. Ash, can you hear this as I'm playing it?
I cannot. No.
Oh, bummer.
That's the only downside of the setup of streaming on Discord, and really, it's just my technical incompetence.
Hold on.
I'll fix you up next time.
Next time.
Can we go over there and turn on video?
Hold on. Okay, everybody, chill.
I'm just waiting for the reaction.
Actually sleeping live on camera right now.
That's how I'll know how good it is.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
And there he is. And there he is.
Look at that. He's so peaceful.
He is literally snuggling his AK.
He's cupping his AK. Look at this. This is a shooter right here. This is a shooter. He's hugging his AK. This is live, by the way. We are still live. Okay. He's hugging his AK.
Thank God you're having
and asleep. This is a first. I mean, this is a first for the Tundra stream right here, Tufu. In perpetuity,
he's literally
you are going to
stroking
be the first
it as
person
he's
to be caught
sleeping.
live sleeping.
No, that's just my camera was fucked up.
No, I saw your thumb like stroking the fucking
in the wrong place
rear sight.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't know if this is against TOS or not.
True love.
Yeah,
Can't
whatever.
fake that kind of love.
Well, I'm.
So that is the clip, Ash, for your benefit. If you go back and watch the stream, you'll get to see that.
Oh, I will.
It is
posted on my IG for people to find.
It's something. It's something of beauty. It's something of beauty.
Just innocence.
No, innocence is
and love.
It is. It actually is. Yeah, it's like purity.
Pure. I like that.
Purity, which in no way, shape, or form has ever been used to describe Tufu in the past. But
hey,
okay, hey, Mr. fucking chest cleavage over there. Yeah. Okay. Put those puppies away. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I'm on Tundra Nation, and Tufu's the one with the cleavage.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, it's a button down, okay? Like
yeah. One button's respectable. 2 button is you're asking for it. You're coming on strong.
Any buttons on.
Yeah, you're coming on strong. All right, guys, let's dive into the next segment of the show. Hold on. I don't even know what the next segment of the show is. Whichever one. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am completely unprepared for this.
Forgot his own show.
Nope. Okay, so we're gonna do. I don't know if he did both of them or just one. So the next segment of the show is gonna be what you guys saw this week on the channel. So we debuted a new series this week on the channel called FUD Hunter, which was inspired directly off of the FUD Finder, we called it FUD Finder. Excuse me. It was directly inspired based off of the post that we debuted last week live on the show. So we're going to go ahead and go through some more FUD-related posts. Now, bear in mind, I have not looked at any of these. These are curated by our good friend and Tundra moderator, N7X Ranger. So if these suck, blame him. But I'll do my best to make it entertaining. And, of course, the first one says page is not available.
Also, his face just lit up like.
Hold on. Let's try that. Let's try that again. Let's try that again real quick. Hold on.
Not being able to work the internet. That's pretty funny.
Okay. No. Okay. Wow. Our first one is coming from this guy. He says, "Put 5,000 rounds through my Springfield XD, and anyone who says they're not reliable as a Glock." That they're not reliable is a Glock fanboy because of the falling sales compared to the real American gun like the XD. Okay, this is one of my favorite, absolute favorite FUD-related comments. And if you don't, like, a lot of people say, oh, FUDs are just, the hunters who believe that you don't need anything more than a bolt action. No, a FUD is any fucking idiot. They're any ignorant person. They're anybody who's so dead set in their ways and their beliefs that they're unwilling to accept another opinion, like this guy. Now, this guy, you would think, okay, he's probably, 32, 35 years old, somewhere in there. You'd probably think that, okay, he has the ability to research things on the internet, okay? But he obviously didn't. He just talked to his best friend after the first time, because this guy shot maybe 200 rounds his entire life, despite the fact that he says he put 5,000 rounds through his gun. Any Springfield XD owner that says they put 5,000 rounds through their gun, cut that by about 20 times, and that's the actual round count.
Left press for doubt.
Yeah, exactly. X.
Also, the fact that on the slide or frame, nowhere does it say "Made in America."
Yeah, well, that's
Croatia.
See, okay, and so that's my favorite part.
Croatia with love.
Yep, that's my favorite part. Is you guys know that I've worked in gun shops for close to the last decade of my life. And that was always my favorite part about these ignorant ass people that come in saying, gonna get me some of that sweet American goodness, that Springfield XD. I'd be like, oh, sweet. Look at the slide. Croatia, what state is that in? What capital is that?
It's near Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Well played, Ashley. Well played.
God damn it.
Thank you. I have my moments.
Like this is just absolutely ridiculous here. Now, there's part of me that thinks that this might be a troll post. There's part of me that thinks that this might be a troll post, but I'm gonna ignore that part of me for the sake of the bit and just say that this guy is a fucking idiot who doesn't know. Number one, he hasn't put more than 250 rounds through his gun because he owns an XD, and I don't understand a single person on the face of this planet that can stomach more than 250 rounds through an XD. And then he goes to say, that it's not reliable as a Glock fanboy because of falling sales. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Glock and falling sales? The Glock 19 being the most popular handgun, not just in America, but probably in the world for the last
probably
2 decades.
The only reason why it's falling in sales is because nobody can find any.
Yeah, when you can't, if you go to a gun store right now, you have an infinitely higher chance of finding a Springfield XD in stock than you do a Glock 19. That's all I will say about the Glock 19. Does that make sense? Because if it's in stock right now, it means it's shit sauce and nobody wants it.
And people will actually buy like High Point over Springfield.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but I get the bit.
And especially over an XD. So like, controversial opinion. I've shot some XDs that I didn't mind. I'm not a huge like fangirl, but like I actually didn't mind the XDs a lot. I would, wouldn't
the
own
OG
one, but
ones.
the XDMs. Yeah, no, I'm talking XDs. Made in Croatia, boxy.
The old HS2000, Croatia block.
Exactly. But then as soon as they switched over to the XDM, that's where it went full fun.
Out of curiosity, outside of the whole grip zone thing.
Yeah.
Which interesting side note here.
Yeah.
My first SHOT Show, I actually met. I ended up I was at the Action Target booth, and I ended up meeting the guy who was forced to design the grip zone thing for Springfield. And I asked him about it, and he just looked at me as like, "Dude, don't hang that shit on me. I was forced to do it." It was funny as shit.
Man.
But so, out of curiosity, like what drove you away on the XDM from the XD? Like, what was the difference?
It was just overall quality.
Yeah. They had something that they thought was gold, and then just
I
played with it.
It was just quality and everything. The way that everything fit up, the way that everything worked. Every XDM that I handled, full disclosure, I briefly owned an XDM.
I owned an original XD in 45 ACP.
Well, and I mean, so another thing, say what you will, but the recoil springs and recoil mechanisms, I'm not going to say a lot else about the 45s on, the XD 45s, but the full length barrel, I think, was a 5.5 XD 45.
That was the competition one. That was the big one. The normal size was the 4-inch.
Yeah, the big boy. So double stack, 14 rounds, a 45. Like, that's significant. 2, that slide was so fucking big, and that recoil spring was so fucking big. That slide would move backwards slow as fuck, but it was a pushy, slow recoil. It was actually quite pleasant to shoot. And you had a fuck ton of ammo, is actually kind of, an interesting capability to be brought around at, fucking 2008,
True,
so,
yeah. Okay, I might give you that. No.
But other than that, lots of feed issues. Lots of feed issues with that pistol, especially if you start throwing any types of non-230 grain ball into it. It started to have all kinds of issues.
Yeah, if you stepped down to 185, I remember if you stepped down to 185, that gun would have all kinds of fucking problems.
Hollow points issues, accuracy, wildly mediocre, even with the sights. But what I will say is the fact that you could put 14 rounds in a double stack 45 in 2008, and that the recoil was actually quite pleasant. It was very easy to shoot 45. That was surprising. Now, nothing else about it was that impressive, but I will never forget that. So, I still don't advocate, XDs, and definitely don't advocate XDMs, but, there were a couple times where I enjoyed shooting one.
So,
and
on top of that, like, here's my opinion on that, because I carried an XDS for a while. For about 2 years, I think.
Fuck you, big boy.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level, because that's not even like XDM. That's like they did the XDM, they saw that it was shit, and then they kept going.
Yeah. So what happened is the reason why I got away with it is because number one, the grip safety. I don't know most people know this or not, but if that thing fails, if there's a round in there, you can't get it out.
Yeah.
And to send it back to manufacturer for repair, by the way, you have to pay shipping there and shipping back. And they have the right to deny your repair. Is you're shipping a live round in the chamber for one, and number two is my whatchamacallit.
That's
my
terrifying.
firing pin failed. Yeah, and my firing pin failed.
Well, just imagine like like California drop test. Like, imagine the FedEx, postal worker drop text. Where,
old Jimmy, just
like like,
ouch my leg. Yeah, I can see that. All right, let's
just fucking shot myself.
Yes. Yeah, that's a fucking classic. I forgot about that. Let's move on to the next one. Also pseudo 45 related because of the picture.
Oof.
It says before you before you break into my house, stand outside and get right with Jesus. Tell him you're on your way. This is the epitome. This is every Trump labeled bumper sticker. This is all of that combined into.
Oh God! Within 1911.
Oh God! Like this is what's wrong with people in our community. Is the people that wear T-shirts like this? Is like 911's average response time blank. My response time, 800 feet per second. It's like no, you don't. This is not what this is for. This is not what this is for. This is not a giant flex. This is not something that's to be used to say, I'm so much more powerful than you. Get fucked, nerd.
The first thing that I start to think of is just like, Persec, great, bro.
Yeah,
so
right.
One, I know that you have a gun safe full with shitty, but albeit valuable guns. So, like, I could follow this person, if you were criminally minded, follow this person to their house, wait until they're not fucking home, break in and steal all their shit.
Exactly.
You know that they've got it.
Or you can guarantee this guy has a truck gun. So when he goes into Target, just break into his car. Hey, do me a favor, quick, Ash. You said PERSEC. Define that for people who might not know what that means.
PERSEC, personal security.
Yeah,
I thought how many parsec you ran the fucking run,
It's parsecs?
Parsecs, yeah.
I'm Chinese. I can barely speak English. You cut me a break.
You can barely speak Chinese too. I've heard you.
But,
you got drunk. You got drunk enough at least once or twice.
Fucking big boy.
Fuck you, big boy.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
like, okay, it's these types of people and these types of posts that make the whole FUD Finder series a necessity. Like I feel a social obligation to rip these people apart so that they feel embarrassed for their stance, because firearms, they're not a bragging point. They're not something like, okay, like between the three of us, like and our buddies and things like that. Okay, that's totally fine. Like you're sitting there, okay, you're flexing on your RDs and your things like that, and I pull up my silly AKV or something like that. Okay, that's totally fine. You can flex on me all that you want. But shut up.
You are the guys.
Yeah. But like when you're out in public and you're wearing a t-shirt, or you're like, you got the bumper sticker and you're like actively advertising that, my truck gun is what's going to prevent you from breaking into my car. No, fuck you. I'm just going to wait until you're not there, and then I'm going to get a free gun. Or you're immediately identifying yourself as the most, primary target in the room. So if I'm even halfway competent and I decide to do something bad, you're the first person I'm going after.
Yeah, I really got nothing, because like the core of the issue is, the type of personality that would think that buying and then wearing that shirt in public would be a good idea. Like, there's just, you don't even really have to fucking say anything about that. Like, There's no real counterpoint because anybody who stares at it for more than 5 seconds is just like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna do one more of these, and then we're gonna move on to Ask Tundra Nation for the remainder of the evening. This is the epitome. Okay, there is nothing that gets more fuddy than this. There is nothing that gets like the definition that I defined as the FUD, that ignorant, stubborn, unbelievably set in their way person. Like they can't see anything better than the decision that they made, even if it's the worst possible decision. This person could have bought a fucking Pinto and thinks it's better than a fucking Lamborghini. Look it up. Yeah.
Education, because this goes back to the beginning of the show. I'm going to educate you, boy.
Sure. Look it up. Ford Pinto. Okay.
Oh.
So this.
No, Wayne's World, right? Like.
Yep. Or was that a Pinto or a Metro? I think it was a Metro.
No, it was a Gremlin.
Geo Metro.
Oh, was it a Gremlin?
I think it was a Gremlin. Disregard.
Oh
It wasn't
shit! I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was a Gremlin.
I don't know. Either way, outstanding. This guy would have drove one because he says, "Only need one shot. Scares the whole neighborhood anyway." And then the follow-up comment he says, "XD 45 tactical 5-inch model."
What?
Dude, this guy
Scares the whole neighborhood.
That's not the point. That's not the fucking point, you FUD. That's not the fucking point. The point of a gun is to save your own damn life if you need it. Not to show it off, not to flash it around, not to scare the whole fucking neighborhood. I guarantee you, your neighbor that's 3 houses down is going to hear that 9mm report just as much as they're going to hear that 45 report. I guarantee it. Your argument literally makes no sense, and it doesn't scare the whole neighborhood, by the way.
I wonder if, the velocity, basically supersonics, versus subsonic.
You could make the argument.
Sound carries farther.
You could definitely make the argument, a higher frequency.
I don't know enough about the fucking physics to
actually. Well, in terms of sound, so this is what I went to school for, is audio engineering. In terms of sound, lower frequency sounds carry farther.
Ah, right, like with ELF and submarines.
Yep. So lower frequency sounds. Yep. Yeah. The wavelength being longer.
Okay.
Technically would carry farther, but higher frequency sounds are more easily recognizable. Think about like the bass you hear from that stupid ass car driving by 16 miles away.
Yeah.
Like when you first start to hear it, you can't immediately recognize it, but you know something's there.
Yeah, pressure.
Yep.
Or
but
just you sense. Okay.
Whereas somebody like that's just driving with the fucking tweeters on blast, like rolling down the street outside your house, blasting some Def Leppard, like you can hear every fucking second of that. They're a lot closer, but it's more recognizable.
I feel like we do this every time, but like we've actually made this stream educational.
Accidentally.
I feel like we fucked up.
Yeah, accidentally. The last time Ash was on the stream, it was just debauchery and chicanery and tomfoolery and skullduggery. Three in a row.
Well, in the time before that, it was your birthday, which also, happy belated birthday.
Well, actually, not belated. Future. So in 2 days.
Oh, future.
Yeah, Monday.
Okay,
Monday is my birthday, for those who don't know. It will mark the 1-year anniversary of the longest Tundra stream ever recorded, courtesy of 2 of the 3 of the people here, with Ashley and Tufu and Mr. Hypoluxia streaming for what was it? Damn near 4 hours.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I danced with my Barrett. I think I did some push-ups.
I do believe I got a happy birthday, Mr. President, from you.
Yes, I.
Yep. If you guys want to
I
go
can't
back,
remember who the fuck's idea that was, but yes, there was a happy birthday, Mr. President.
and that is something that I very much appreciate and will hold against you forever.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I only debase myself in that manner.
I don't. Thank you, Ash. I don't know exactly what episode it was, but it was in October of last year. If you go back to the Tundra Tactical channel and rewatch those live streams. In fact, you know what? We've embarrassed Tufu. Let's embarrass Ashley.
Oh no! no.
Operator Tony, Dickie B, all my moderators.
Fuck.
Find me the birthday stream from last year.
I'm pretty sure I clipped the little clip and send it to everybody.
Yeah, if you can find that clip and send it back to me, I'll play it live.
I mean,
But if somebody can find me that
I didn't.
in 25 minutes, okay, that's your time frame. In 25 minutes, if you guys can find me my birthday stream from last year where it was Ash, Hypo, and Tufu, it's the longest stream we've ever done. It's like 4 hours long. And then you can find me the bit where Ash does the happy birthday, Mr. President. We'll play that live on the air to embarrass Ashley because we've already embarrassed Tufu. And I embarrass myself enough on a weekly basis to where you guys get enough of that already.
Don't care.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll wrap up FUD Finder. And as we're waiting...
I told my XD story, Tyler. Like, I made myself vulnerable on
the
stream.
I appreciate that. And I also admitted the very first handgun I ever owned was an XD in 45 ACP. I am at heart a FUD. I am at heart a FUD.
Well,
I've graduated, but go ahead.
No. I want to bring something up very, very briefly. It's near and dear to my heart, and it's going to be brief because I could rant on this for hours. But if you're out there shaming new shooters for maybe not having like the best gun or having shitty gear, you are what is fucking wrong with the 2A community right now.
So this is something that I addressed in the last video.
Say, we all have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. We all had at some point in time like Condor tactical shit and shitty fucking weapons.
Oh, dude, I had a tap code out SKS, a Yugo SKS.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I know. I was an idiot. I was an idiot too. Yeah. Now,
constructive criticism.
Yes, it's a fantastic point that you mentioned. So in my research for FUD Finder, courtesy of 10 Million Rounds, No Issues, the Facebook group, how do I define this? I saw one of the greatest definitions, so the whole pores, comment, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I found a very, very good definition of that kind of works on both ends. Like it really defines what we're trying to say when we call somebody a poor. It's not income based. It's poor decision making. So I believe the comment was something to the effect of poor decision making doesn't always equate to low income.
Agreed.
And so that is my permanent and future definition of when I call somebody a poor, that is what I'm referring to. Everyone's allowed to make mistakes. Everyone's stupid at one point.
Well, and what is the saying about judgment, right? Like it's like good judgment comes from bad decision. Good decision comes from good judgment, and good judgment comes from God damn it.
It's all right. It's the alcohol.
Fucking English. But
English is hard.
Fuck you,
yeah,
boy.
no, it is.
But boy, see, I can do better.
Let me fucking try to remember this, but it's.
Let's see if the chat can help us out.
I think it's good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment.
Yeah,
I think that's how the saying goes.
My father-in-law always said something very similar, which is somewhat applicable, and it's experience is what you get when you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. But
all right, guys, let's dive into the next segment and final segment of the show. Like I said, I will reiterate. You have now about 20 minutes to embarrass Ashley by finding that video clip, and that is going out to.
I need more alcohol.
Going out to everybody in my mod team or anyone who is willing to help out. It would be October 5th of last year. Oh wait, we just got a message in.
Oh shit.
Oh, no, it's a Tufu one. Hold on. Oh my god, it's okay. I gotta show this afterwards.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, Ashley, you're safe right now.
I'm safe?
Yep, you're safe for now. Tufu has another strike against him.
What the
So thanks, Cap. But if you guys can find October 5th of last year's stream, like I said, it's something like 4 hours long. It should be really easy to find on the Tundra Tactical channel, and you can find the point in the show where Ash was so drunk she sang me the "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" thing. we'll play that live on the air as well.
I'm still trying to remember whose idea it was. I'm pretty sure it was Hypo.
But yeah, we'll dive into the next segment of the show. The next segment of the show is called Ask Tundra Nation. If you're new to the channel or new to the chat here, Ask Tundra Nation is the segment of the show where you guys, the fans, get to ask your questions to us and have them answered live on the air by myself, usually Hypo, in this case Tufu, and the guest, which is Ashley. So Ask Tundra Nation this week is going to be starting off. Oh, by the way, I should say, if you want to be part of Ask Tundra Nation, you do have to be a member of the Discord. We do not take Ask Tundra Nation questions in the chat live. Unfortunately, it's just too much for me to handle talking with a guest, wrangling Tufu and his crazy shenanigans, and then dealing with you degenerates. But yeah, if you do want to be part of this, make sure to join up in the Tundra Nation Discord. And if you're unfamiliar with Discord and how things work there, don't sweat it at all. We've got an entire mod team that will help you. They will guide you to the right spots, where to be, how to work it. So just join. Like, don't worry about knowing how to do it. Just join it up, ask some questions. I will make sure that my mod team helps you out, regardless of your experience with Discord or lack thereof. The first question, or the first Ask Tundra Nation question this week comes from our good buddy Josh. Now, Josh, I know I said this last week, and I apologize. I have been supremely busy. I have not forgotten to send the light out to you. It will be coming at some point in time, and like I said, I got something special lined up for the kiddo too. For the two of you guys who might not know what happened, Josh sent me an email probably about a month and a half ago. It was just a super cool email talking about how he loved the channel and how he was. This is the reason I was bringing up the joke. He watches it with his kid, like he watches the show with his kids and things like that. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ! I don't know if we're a family show by any means, but apparently his kids love the show too, and it's like this big family bonding experience for them. So I thought that was really, really cool. And he was asking a ton of really awesome questions. He's a brand new shooter, not brand new shooter, but he's looking at getting his kids into shooting. Yeah. And so he was talking about, what gun should I use? What, I'm looking for a light and this thing and this thing and that.
I remember that.
So I told him that instead of him buying a light, because, he's a single parent, money is tight, I told him I was just going to send him mine.
Good on you, bro.
Just as a way of saying, number one, thanks for taking the time to write the email. Because for like medium-sized, small-sized to medium-sized YouTubers like me, like when we get an email like that from a fan, not just a fan, but from somebody who's like, who has kind of like that wholesome experience to go off of, it's hugely promotional. I'm kidding. it makes you feel good about what you do. So Josh, I have not forgotten. I still have it. It's sitting right here. At some point in time, I swear to God, I'm going to remember to get this thing out to you. I'll overnight it. It'll be there hopefully shortly. But first question comes from Josh. He would like to know, when you train. Oh, you know what? Actually, we answered this last week, and it was just never updated. But we'll cover it again. Okay. I'm kind of curious. This is kind of a decent question for Ash here and Tufu. When you train, do you train for a shit hits the fan situation, or do you train for a home invasion situation? And why do you train for that particular situation? Now, before you guys respond to this, I'll give you my answer from last week. And my answer from last week is I don't train for any particular situation. I train I train to train. I train not necessarily for the widest possible variety of situations, but I train because as an infantry officer, Ash, you know this, as a responsible-minded shooter, Tufu, you've experienced this, being in the situation that you described earlier. Everything that you train for, it has a value, but it doesn't play the way you expect it to when shit goes down. So if you only train for a shit hits the fan situation, or if you only train for a home defense situation, and when that situation happens and it goes differently from what you expect, you're shit out of luck because you freeze up. You have to now you have to think. So what you should be training is your mental acuity and your physical application of your skills to, I said this earlier, Semper Gumby, always be flexible. But Ash, go ahead. I'd like to hear your comment on this, and then Tufu, you can follow it up.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're 100% right. And what I will say is, first thing that I always train is fundamentals.
Yep.
basics, you know, and nobody that does anything special in any field is really truly special because they can do sexy shit. They're special because they are masters of the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
So I always train the fundamentals first, and then when you get the extra time to train other stuff other than the fundamentals,
now you get to do the cool stuff.
Then you get to do some of the cool stuff. But, you know, also some of my best range training sessions are training where I'm moving throughout a course of fire. So I'm moving closer to the target, so moving through a set path, but I don't know what targets I'm shooting at.
Well, and that, you know, it's an interesting that's an interesting subject that you bring up, because that to a lot of people I don't think would be considered basic fundamentals, because a lot of these people out there are, you know, they're shooting on at a static position on the range. So what you and I consider to be basic fundamentals, and what Tufu or a lot of other people that are maybe a little bit more restricted to certain firing conditions, what they consider to be basic fundamentals might be two separate things. So do you care to maybe elaborate on that?
Well, and I have the benefit of see, I never ever do I ever want to sound like a military elitist, and I felt like I was about to make a statement that might have leaned towards that, but more or less I have time in the military where I'm introduced to certain training techniques that not a lot of people have, you know, just visibility on. But there is a lot of ways, and maybe this is something that I can, you know, share on my own social media, but like there's a lot of training you can get at with not a lot of resources, because that's something that in the military, you know, we've mastered, because you find yourself with not a lot of resources to train. And training is absolutely critical to accomplish. So necessity is always the mother of invention. So like one of my go-to drills is a drill that a buddy in the Ranger Regiment passed on to me. And Tufu's done it. All you need is a 25-meter flat range and a note card, a 3x5 note card. That's it. And you can do, you know, what is basically their close quarters qualification course of fire. And it trains literally almost everything that you would do with rifle shooting. As far as, you know, dynamically moving in close quarters. It is a very difficult, very challenging course of fire. Yeah, and it's accomplished with 40 rounds, a 3x5 notebook card, and 25 meters. And that is the best 40 rounds of training you will ever get, you know, on a 25-meter flat range. So there are ways to get after all this different types of stuff. It's just, you know, if people aren't introduced to the idea, you know.
All right, so real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to stick around till the end of the show, because we have confirmed the Mr. President clip has been found, and it is primed and ready. But we're going to finish off the show. It'll be the ending of the show here, so make sure to stick around. We got 32 people in here. If you guys want to see Ashley sing me on my birthday last year, sing to me, "Happy Birthday, Mr. President." Which I'll believe it or not, Ash, like I don't even remember this. Like, I'm sure I was drunk when I saw it.
You were at a Ghost show.
Yeah, you were at a Ghost concert.
Yeah.
I think we talked to you after the stream. I think because I was drunk too.
I might not. This might even be my first time seeing it, so you might even see me blush through the beard here.
So I look forward to that. But
Tufu, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was gonna tack on top of Ashley. What Ashley was saying is, like, you guys are the real, you know, badasses in the chat. Like me, I'm a gun bunny wannabe, and I go to matches from time.
I wouldn't even say wannabe at this point.
Yeah, you're right. But as soon as the beat,
I mean, you have kissed Tracy Lee, so
shut the fuck up.
You did. I seen it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
It didn't happen.
Yes, I did. What happens in Vegas stays on Instagram, baby.
Pictures didn't happen.
Yeah, fair enough.
As soon as the beeper goes off, you know, like, we'll do those stage walkthrough. As soon as the beeper goes off, I don't fucking know what I'm doing.
What's the meme? There's a meme about that where it's like, you know, the animation of the guy like doing the bits and like preparing and everything, and then it just says beep, and it's just him going
potato.
I'm pretty sure I saw a meme once where it said, you know, what everybody else sees, and it's a guy with the shot timer, And this is what I see, and it's the Men in Black with the.
That's exactly what it is. And you know, I quote Ashley on this subject. You know, everybody knows that Ashley is my big sister. You know, she's the coolest. And what she told
Can
me
confirm.
is that, you know, the real life training versus what's on Instagram is completely different.
Yeah.
What's on Instagram is something sexy, something
It is.
looks
It is.
really
But
cool.
yeah.
Something on, you know, daily training where she's like, you fumble the mag reload, you fuck up this, you fuck that, that. You know, anyone who posts, you know, any match videos is something that is like recorded 7 or 10 videos, and
Dude,
that one looked good.
Here's a great way to describe it for the two of us, you and me, Tufu. I don't Ash, I don't know how big into video games you are or not, but like think of all the Drewski videos or Level Cap or Jack for Eggs or whatnot. It's like maybe, I don't know. I can't really call them out, I guess. But my guess is like all of that like supreme high level shit, that's all chopped together from different clips.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Ash, you nailed it. It's the sexy stuff that you want to see. It's the entertainment value, but in terms of practical application, it's dozens, if not hundreds, of failed drills or, you know, repetitions to get to that one singular point where you get that perfect reload or that perfect shot. Go ahead, Tufu.
I have hundreds of gigs of videos of me shooting matches. And there's only like a handful on Instagram because most of them don't look sexy. Most of them are just me hosting it down or.
But when you do, boy. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our next question here. Go ahead, Ash. Finish it off.
No, I was just gonna say. So the quote that Tooth is referring to is what's sexy is rarely real training, and real training is rarely sexy. You know.
Very true. Very true. Unless Tufu is doing it, and then it's always sexy because he's got 2 pop buttons down.
Oh yeah.
I want to see the next like ace video of you. Like when you post that next ace video, Tufu, where you just like rip and shred full send. I want to see 2 pop buttons. And I want to see the Tundra Nation just written across your chest.
Ooh.
Okay. Just,
how about on Brandon's tramp stamp?
It needs to be in like that cursive scroll too.
Oh yeah.
Know, like,
actually, yeah.
right
Here's my real challenge for you. When Brandon at Clash Bash this year, Ash and Brandon, when Brandon gets supremely drunk, convince him to get a Tundra Nation tattoo on his ass and then take a picture of it. It'll be the best promotional value we could possibly get.
Or I owe the better.
We need to go 2 for 2 ass tattoos at Clash Bash.
Yep, there you go.
That needs to happen.
There you go. All right, the next question comes from our good buddy Mario Mechanic Molina, and he would like to say, when dry fire practice at home, what's your first, second, and third safety recommendations? Your thoughts, Tyler and Mr. Hypolexia, aka Mr. Tufu. He finishes the statement off very appropriately for this week by saying, "Love you long time, bitches."
First thing is mag out. Write the round out, make sure there's nothing in it, put it in a different room, and go to town. Draw, fire.
I believe I'll be very honest with everyone here, and I'm sure the chat can confirm this. I think these are all questions that we answered last week on Ask Tundra Nation. I'm vaguely, I get super drunk during these streams, so I vaguely remember this question as well. And I think I said something to the effect of, there isn't a first, second, and third safety recommendation. It's just all 4 of the firearm safety rules.
Actually, I think that's 2 weeks ago.
It might have been.
I vaguely remembered this. Scroll all the way down.
But
I don't have much.
That's pretty much what I was going to say, Tyler.
It's you know, when it comes to any form of firearms training and safety, there shouldn't be there shouldn't be multiple definitions of what you should or shouldn't do. It's one set rule and guideline, and it's the 4 firearm safety rules. If you follow those, and you follow them accurately and completely, I don't think that there's a world where you can say that there's 0 chance that something can go wrong. Right. But there's such an infinitesimally small chance that something can go wrong if you're following all 4 of the rules safely, that you could do what you want where you want to do it. And I think during this portion of Ask Tundra Nation a week or two or a couple of weeks ago, I had mentioned in extreme guilt that I actually ND'd once, and only once, in a manner very similar to this. I was doing dry fire practice in my backyard at night, and I dropped a live mag at my feet. And I had an empty mag in the gun, and I dropped that at my feet. Grabbed the wrong magazine, and it's, you know, sometimes when you get to training, you get focused, you get in the zone, and that attention to detail kind of falls by the wayside, and that complacency takes over, and that's when accidents happen. So what Tufu said, you know, you don't have to unload your magazine, just put that mag and that spare round in a completely separate room, get it away from where you're training, go to a completely different room, or go outside or do something like that, and then follow the firearm safety law or firearm safety rules, and you should be in I would say 99.9% of all the cases just fine. Since we covered that one a couple of weeks ago, we'll jump to the next one. We'll see if we covered this one, because I didn't obviously proofread these. Empty-Headed Gamer wants to know, you have to give up one body part. Oh, I think we did this one too. Damn. Okay, hold on. Okay, we'll jump to this one, because I definitely don't remember this one. Empty-Headed Gamer again comes up with saying, recently I've seen several people say you shouldn't modify your EDC because it will make you more likely to be wrongly convicted if you have to use it. What are your thoughts? So I'll withhold my opinion on this, and I will direct this to Tufu first, and then Ash, and then I'll comment on it. So Tufu, your thoughts on modifying an EDC and what kind of effect that would have, if you have to use it, what kind of effect that would have against the prosecution, or using the prosecution using against you.
That I do not know. On the law side, I do not know. I have a lawyer retainer for a reason, but for me personally, I don't modify my EDC other than I put a new sights on it, and that's it.
Let's say, for example, okay, if I were to give you a situation where I said I had an RMR and an aftermarket trigger in my gun.
I'll take the trigger, and I would not take the RMR. Okay,
I'm not saying what would you take. I'm just saying, let's say that's the gun that you have. You have an RMR and you have an aftermarket trigger. His question is, should I be essentially what he's saying is, should I be concerned that I've modified my gun to be what the prosecution would consider to be quote unquote more lethal, based off of those like should, I guess I'm struggling to articulate what you're saying. But
I'll take it from here. No, the answer is still no, because, you know, for example, some people have bad eyesight. They can't see the iron sights very well. So, you know, a red dot, once you pick it up, it's a single point, and it prints on the location where you're shooting, point and shoot. That's it. And in terms of trigger, I like the way it looks.
Sure.
I like the way it feels.
Sure.
It's like, why would you convict me if I get into a car accident? Why would you convict me if I'm driving a silver car or a red car or a black car?
Or if I have a turbo in my car, or you know, an aftermarket exhaust, or something like that.
Or, you know, yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Good point. Ashley, what are your thoughts?
As a former company commander, I'm going to say I'm not a lawyer. I'm not qualified to give legal advice. Speak to one.
In Minecraft. In Minecraft.
Unfortunately, like, you know, like I said, lots of experience. If it's a legal question, it really is better framed to a lawyer. I can speak on a lot of shit, but when legal comes into question, it's better to just ask a lawyer and not speculate.
Sure.
That's my 2 cents.
I will
honestly.
Absolutely speculate and give my answer to this. So the fear in this question is, okay, if I've modified my firearm, the prosecution is going to use it to consider me to be more willing to use that deadly force. Where I would argue, and as Ash said, you guys know, I'm just a drunken fuck with a beard on the internet. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. But my defense in that situation would be something akin partially to what Tufu said, is saying, okay, I've got bad eyesight. So does that negate my ability to effectively defend myself? Nay, I will say,
Yes.
Does it effectively negate my ability to safely protect the people around me? Because if I can't see my front and rear sights at night, how do I know where my round's going?
That's more dangerous.
How do I know where my round's going? Okay, if I have an aftermarket trigger, okay, well, that prevents me from pulling low and to the left. Okay, it helps me hit my target. It helps me make sure that that bullet goes exactly where I want it to go. So I understand the argument of don't modify your carry gun. And the main reason I would advocate for that is, okay, that gun's going to get seized. It's going to get put into an evidence locker. You're probably never going to see it again. And if you do see it again, it's going to be a very, very long time. Yep, probably won't be in the best condition. So, but on the other end of that, what is the gun there to, like, what is it for? It's to make sure you walk away from that situation. So why not give yourself the best opportunity to walk away from that? Now, this is treading into FUD territory. Better to be, judged by 12 than carried by 6, or whatever the fucking statement is. Is it the other way around? 6, 12, whatever. I'm drunk.
Yes. You had it right.
Okay. But it's kind of a valid statement in that particular sense. I would much rather have the most effective possible tool to get me out of a situation. Obviously don't want to use it, but if I had to, I want to know that my rounds are going where I want them to go, not into somebody else that, had some lady walking her dog, at 2 a.m. for whatever reason. Okay, it's her right to do whatever.
Right back to the very first issue we talked about, which is tools and purpose.
Exactly. So
I will go as far enough to say that I've carried modified and unmodified weapons. I'll say that.
Same. So I would say give yourself the best chance for success using the tool that you have. Based off of your ability and skill, your wallet, like all of those things come into play. And accessories don't buy skill. They don't replace skill. So, we're talking about the fundies, we're talking fundamentals, and we're talking about, how many times you see shit on Instagram that looks cool as shit, but it's really just a compilation of repetition of failure. Take that to heart and understand that, hey, in reality, shit goes wrong real fucking quick. And I want the best possible chance of success that I can possibly get. So for me, more than likely, like for most people, I guess it would really depend on who I'm talking to, but I guess for most people, like most competent people that I would talk to, like for the two of you, if you guys asked me this question, I would say, yeah, mod it the fuck out. Give yourself the best chance that you possibly can have for success, and let your lawyer solve the problem. Because at least letting your lawyer solve the problem, it gives you the opportunity to let your lawyer solve the problem, as opposed to also, not being able to solve the problem because you got a fucking hole in your head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, on the 100% opposite end of that spectrum, understand when to use that tool. Because if you don't need to use it and you use it, now you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that is where we're going to end Ask Tundra Nation for the night. Ashley, you have not gotten off the hook because it is time to embarrass the shit out of you. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring up this fine example of vocal just... I don't even know.
Face. Look at this face.
I don't even know. I mean, normally Tufu is the butt of every joke here, but Ashley, you are going to be on the receiving end this fine evening. Like I said, I make fun of myself and embarrass myself enough as it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let us watch last year's episode.
It's behind you.
Only for you, Tyler. Only
look at
for
that!
you.
Look at that face, Ashley. Look at that face. You'll see this in the post show, but. Look at that face.
I was there for it originally.
It was glorious. You got the Bren poster, the flag hanging up in the background. It's glorious.
My Bren Slinger flag.
It's glorious. Let's listen to this, chat. Let's listen to this and see what happens. Oh God.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Oh, I'm fighting my
God damn.
Fantastic.
So,
Oh God.
moving on to the next question before we all.
All right, I think that's where we'll leave it for there. But Ashley, your singing voice, superb. I like it. I'll in 2 days I'll take another one.
That is a very drunk Angel of Verdun.
It's, you know what? I can empathize. I've been there multiple times. 117 times to be exact. Each and every week here on the Tundra channel. But guys, I want to say thank you very much, number one, to Tufu for filling in for Mr. Hypoluxia on short notice as my co-host, technical director and studio engineer extraordinaire. A big
Fuck you, big boy.
goes out to that guy because he is outstanding. Tufu, I got one question for you.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Was the money, mama mahar?
There you go. I sure, yes. Whatever you say. Ni hao. Ash, of course, it has been I cannot tell you how much I have looked forward to having you back on the show. I can't tell you how much, number one, we've missed you. Not just myself, not just Megan, but the rest of the Tundra Nation. We talk about you all the time. We've had multiple requests for you to come back on the show, and I think it's been obvious that people have been waiting because you were absolutely the most popular guest that we've had on since we rebranded the show.
By far.
So welcome home. We're happy to see you safe and back in the comfort of your abode. And we're happy to see that you're doing well, Ash. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we love you. We just love you.
Absolutely.
And happy birthday to you, by the way.
And thank you. And it's 100% mutual. You know, all my love to you, the family, and the Tundra Nation, of course. You know, I pop in as often as I can. But no, seriously, it's an absolute pleasure to be back, and I'll be back again.
Oh, we can't wait. Tufu, you're awesome as always, buddy. What do you got to say?
Oh no, I just want to fill everybody in that we kind of have a mini without Tundra meetup next week. And yeah.
Oh, with Kalash?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's gonna be who's all going?
So Dicky Bun, Adventure.
Okay.
One of the pineapples.
One of the pineapples. Okay. I love how we have more than one pineapple at this point. So it's one of the pineapples.
I think my dude's gonna be there, and a couple others.
Right on. So it is kind of like a mini Tundra Nation meetup. So if you it's in Texas, right?
Duh.
It is.
Yeah. So if you live near and around Texas and you want to do a little mini Tundra Nation meetup without me there, courtesy of Tundra, Dickie B, Cap, my dude, and a few others, please go ahead and do so because the two of you guys will be there, right?
We will.
Outstanding.
Yep. I will be shooting
on the side of the street, then I'm effed in the B.
Yeah, well,
also yes, but I will be shooting this thing wildly mediocre because I haven't touched an AK in 7 months, so
excellent.
That'll be really fun.
What is Ash? Before we send it here, what is behind you right there? Because we haven't really seen it.
So yeah, actually, this is something that I have been. It's been kind of debuted in social media, but no.
Ooh.
So
that is behind the optic, so you can give the little contrast to see what optic it's a have.
What optic it has? No, it's got an L-can on it.
Yeah, well, she's
no. So
big flex.
So no, that's my RD NATO. So it was built a while ago for me by Jim Fuller,
the one and
and
only.
It's been since Zenitcode out. And it's got a bunch of really, really ridiculously Gucci shit that has taken me about 2 years to compile. I started collecting parts for this gun before it was ever even built, and I just recently finished.
That is some Gucci shit.
Yeah, it is a much better gun than I will ever be a shooter, but I will try to not embarrass myself shooting rifle tonight wildly mediocre at Kalash Bash. So
you're a fine shooter.
So Ash, I want to give you another round of props here. 46 congruent viewers is I believe the record for the channel now. So well done.
It's too bad it couldn't be 47.
Hey, you know what? Maybe next time we have you on.
Maybe next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you very much to the Tundra Nation for tuning in with us even for the 17th episode, the return, the venerable return of the prolifically outstanding, beautiful, and wonderful Angel of Verdun and her sidekick Tufu. Just kidding, Tufu. You know I love you long time, baby, and I very much appreciate your presence here on the show. It's kind of gotten to the point where I feel less than comfortable doing the show without a co-host, so I really do appreciate your offer of filling in for Mr. Hypoluxia as he takes the night off to focus on his life and his family and doing things that makes him happy. But you guys are fantastic. The Tundra Nation, you guys are fantastic. And before I get too mushy here, let me go ahead and pour the drink. Go ahead and pour yourselves a drink. There we go. If you haven't already.
Actually, I want to do something real stupid and see if it'll work.
Oh dear God! Don't show it on camera.
Oh shit!
Oh God, that's the last thing I want to see while you. Tufu, get a glass ready.
You know, it's kind of ironic because when I was company commander, I used to tell my guys, it's like, hey, don't intentionally do something stupid. If you're intentionally going to do something stupid, do it with a ranger buddy. If you're intentionally going to do something stupid with a ranger buddy, don't post it on YouTube.
Yep, there you go.
What am I going to do? Get fired?
Oh dear God, he's gonna drink it through the suppressor. So guys, this last one goes out to you. Thank you, Tundra Nation, for tuning in to episode number 17. The Angel of Verdun is back. Yes, she is, and we're happy to have her. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers to Megan and obviously baby Ellie. Cheers to the Tundra Nation.
Skull.
Skull. Well played. That speaks to my Minnesotan heart. Guys, we will see you all next week in episode 18 when... Tufu, can you take it away? Have you been around long enough to take it away?
We still have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
My man. Cheers, boys and girl. Bye.